What's going on, guys? It's Chris coming back at you guys with another episode of Grappler Baki Techniques Explained. Z-Gamer asked me to do another episode of the series explaining either the Mach punch technique or the Cockroach Dash, so you get both. Not in the same episode, but next episode is probably going to be the Cockroach Dash because, in this episode, I'm going to explain how the Mach punch works. Thanks for the suggestion, Z-Gamer. This one's for you. Alright, so I guess it's time to shill for the channel, boys. The last installment of this series did really well. I mean, like, really well. Probably because A, the 0.5 second unconscious is confusing as fuck, and B, I got that sweet algorithm boost from the Son of Ogre anime that came out at around the same time on Netflix. So, the like goal for this episode is gonna be 60 likes, since last episode we murdered that. Also be sure to comment what other techniques you want to see explained, because if I don't get any suggestions, I'm planning on explaining the Cockroach Dash, Sukune II's famous Abaranage, and Adrenaline, since I saw some confusion on how Adrenaline works in a recent post on the Baki subreddit. Also subscribe if you want to become a member of the channel today. We talk about Baki shit, Kengan shit, sometimes Bleach and JoJo shit, some Fate shit, and we do gameplay. I was thinking about launching my new Pokemon gameplay series soon, which I'll be calling Pokemon in Sync, where I try to beat a Pokemon game as a sync pair from the iOS game Pokemon Masters EX. I also want to drop a Soulsborne series I've been planning since last November that I'll be calling Fate Dark Souls, where I try to beat a Soulsborne game as a servant from the Fate series. Be on the lookout for all that shit, and be sure to hit that notification bell to be notified of when all that comes out, since I'm ass at uploading with any degree of consistency. Aight, enough of all that, time to talk Bach. Cue the intro. Alright, to start off, let's look to see what the Baki Wiki has to say about how the technique works. Katsumi aligns his joints perfectly to deliver a punch or punches that break the sound barrier. Kakukayo has stated that the Mach punch can travel at the minimum speed of Mach 28. He later refines this technique using Kakukayo's suggestion to imagine that his body is made of thousands of joints, which makes it so fast that his hand can cut an egg just like a sword. But after he manages to break the sound barrier with this technique, Katsumi's hand is greatly damaged. That ultimate form of this technique is the hitless blow. Well, that's the general idea for those unfamiliar with the series or that specific technique, though I think the Mach 78 part is in reference to the hitless blow rather than his refined Mach punch. Could totally be wrong though. But to get a bit more in depth with the explanation, we've got to talk about joints. Wait, no, not that kind of joint. We're talking about Katsumi, not Kushsumi. No, I'm talking about joints in the human body. The kind of joints that'd give Roland Istaz a boner. So the name of the game is Speed, and this speed is generated through the alignment of bones to create a whip-like effect. The force starts at the toe, travels up the foot to the ankle, which is then aligned to allow the force of the strike to continue on and pick up speed. This process continues up through the hip, to the waist, to the shoulder, to the elbow, to the wrist. The force and speed generated through the perfect alignment of joints is so great, it not only allows the user to strike with blitzing speed like the end of a whip, but the massive force generated also hits the enemy with all the force you'd expect from a fist-sized object, traveling at speeds faster than the speed of sound to do. So the inverse explanation is simple enough, but what about the science behind it? Stuff in Baki is often science fiction rather than outright fantasy, or at least built upon real-world science to some degree, so the question is, could somebody generate speed and power beyond a normal punch through the alignment of joints? And the answer is, well, yes and no. To start with the more yes side of the answer, let's talk about the technique as used in Baki. Even if you somehow did, remember that breaking through the sound barrier at high enough speeds did this to a Baki character, and these guys are superhumans that can blow up like multiple city blocks at a time at least. Even a normal supersonic Mach punch would turn your entire body into Katsumi's arm. At any rate, the concept behind the Mach punch is theoretically possible, but practically impossible. Think of it like this, we're going to do an exercise. Rotate your wrist like you're flicking it around. That generated some force. Now extend your arm at the elbow with a flick. Also some decent force, nothing serious, but a decent jab. Now flick your shoulder out, like rotate it forward with a flick. Got some good force there, but if you put all three together, you've got a straighter across. a forward shoulder rotation to an elbow extension to a wrist corkscrew, with each joint and bone alignment generating more force and speed. Add hip and waist rotation and you've got a good straighter across. That idea of aligning your bones and joints in a fast, consecutive timing to generate speed and power for a punch is not only realistic, but often used in combat sports. The problem lies in A, the amount of consecutive joint alignment, and B, the timing. Aligning your toe, ankle, knee, hip, waist, shoulder, elbow, and wrist is fucking insane. The level of practice and precision that you'd need to consistently pull this off would be nearly impossible, if not outright so. Doing that in a live combat situation would be so utterly Herculean, it's practically impossible in real life. Alignment of the hip, waist, shoulder, elbow, and wrist is already extremely difficult to maintain with each strike, especially with dozens, if not hundreds of strikes thrown in a fight. So adding 3 additional sections, the knee, ankle, and toe, would make the success rate of actually pulling off a Mach punch 1 in a million, if at all even possible. That said, a Mach punch mechanically is basically a normal straight-on crack, so the concept is there. I'll leave some of my usual extra reading assignments in the description below, so you guys can read about other ways joint and bone alignment affects striking power and speed, but in short, the risks of improper joint and bone alignment can result in your fist or wrist being damaged, and a major decrease in impact output of the strike, because the force isn't able to properly travel through from where it's being generated. Both in Baki and in real life, think of power and speed generation through bone and joint alignment like a gun with multiple bullets in a single barrel. Assuming that this didn't result in the barrel exploding, like it likely would in real life, the bullet would be ignited by the primer in charge, smash into the primer of the bullet in front of it, adding to the force of that bullet while setting off its charge, making it as fast as a normal bullet, plus the force of being rammed by the first bullet from behind, and so on, but in Katsumi's case, the resulting punch is a bullet that has the force and speed of 6 other bullets behind it. Anyway, the reading is going to be a 2014 boxing article about joint and bone alignment helping the transfer and generation of power in strikes, a 2019 article about how aligning bones and joints generates power and speed, and a 2020 Quora thread about what I can only assume is a Baki nerd thinking of the Mach punch or the Garuden Sunke, asking the general public about this very topic. Okay guys, that's all for this one. Now you guys know what's up with the Mach punch technique from the Grappler Baki series. Next up is the Cockroach Dash if you guys reach the like goal of 60 likes, and any technique explanation beyond that is subject to change. Thank you all for watching, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed the video or you want to help to hit the goal. Subscribe to become a part of the channel today, support the channel, and stay up to date on video releases. Hit that notification bell because the subscription box system is broken and YouTube just doesn't fucking work. What are your thoughts on the Mach punch? What about the upcoming gameplay videos? Any other thoughts you want to share? Let me know in the comments section down below and boost that algorithm, boys! Anyway, I've been the #1 patriot of YouTubia, and YouTube just doesn't fucking work. And this has been Grappler Baki Techniques Explained. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.